Have you visited India?
No, I have not.
You're listening to
Jom Sembang, Malaysia. Okay, so Gina, you just came back from India, right?
Yeah, the last country I thought I would go. I mean, not to say that I have anything against India. Okay, it's just that I always prefer to go to a country where I understand the language. So more Western country or something. So that communication is not a barrier lah.
Okay, so today let's see if we can find 5 things that Gina learned about India, or at least the area that she went to, because India is huge, right?
Yeah, there's the north and the south. So I went to the south part lah.
Okay. So the first thing you said, I always thought people from India can speak really good English. Is that true?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think the younger generation can.
But
the older generation, not necessarily. Unless you work as a doctor, a businessman, then yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, most of them can't. But before I begin on my India discoveries, let's begin the first discovery before the trip.
Okay.
Okay, we always forget the before trip, right? So everything is during the trip, right?
Yeah.
So before the trip, I learned about visa application. Which is very
penting.
Yeah.
Important.
Not every country, almost every country need a visa. But in Malaysia, apparently, after I applied the visa, they just announced that Malaysian can go to India for 30 days without visa.
Because Commonwealth, right?
No. But before that, I went through the whole lot of trouble getting that visa.
Okay.
Before the announcement came out. Okay?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But anyway, I thought because that's 30 days, if you are going longer or whatever, you still need a visa lah. Okay? So India visa is one of the most complicated things to apply because they actually ask a lot of questions compared to other visa.
Like?
For example, what's your mother's name? What's your father's name? It's still okay. Where your mother is born? Where your father is born? If you say you're Malaysian, they will ask you, are you naturally Malaysian or not?
What is it?
I stare at it. Naturally Malaysian. Yes, I was born Malaysian.
So is it your first citizenship?
Yeah. So they actually, compared to any other visa application, they ask very, very detailed question. So when you apply for visa, you really need to sit down, take the time and look through the form. And click, and fill. And it takes the longest time I've ever filled in a visa lah.
So this is, well, if you want to stay more than 30 days lah.
Yeah.
Which you didn't
for now
know until...
No, they just announced 1st July onwards.
Okay.
And I was doing all my application in June lah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and when you Google to apply for visa, there's e-visa and normal visa. Go for e-visa because normal visa, the High Commission here said, you do e-visa lah. Why you make my life so hard?
Okay.
To printed visa. So the tip is to do e-visa.
Okay.
When you Google it, the first 10 results on the first page are all scams.
Oh, wow.
How did I know is because I remember when I agreed to go India, I said the visa must not be more than 200 ringgit.
Okay.
So the first website I clicked, search it looks very decent,
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't look like a scam, it probably have like indiavisa.com, so like proper domain.
Yeah.
So I remember and I filled in the form and then when they asked me to pay, it was like 800 ringgit. Then I was like,
wow.
Walao, almost the same price as my flight ticket. So I paused. And then I asked the India friend lah, because we are going to visit India family friend lah. Okay. So I went there. Then I said, so expensive your visa. They said, no lah, very cheap only lah. Should be below 100 lah. Then I went $800 there. Then I don't like paperwork. The next day I go and search. Then I try the more promising one, High Commissioner India or something like that. So I tried. Again, it's a scam. It's 500 ringgit.
Wow.
So I got fed up. Then I asked my friend, because she's from India, can you just give me the link? And then he gave me a link that even that was a bit suspicious. So yeah, you need to look to like maybe second or third page of the search button before you actually find the correct one.
Okay.
Which is India visa something.
Okay.
But you should be paying 10 USD for it only.
Okay. Interestingly,
not 800 ringgit.
This happened to me when I was filling in those e-immigration thing for Singapore. So earlier I had filled in some, and I know for a fact that it's free, right? And then there was one day, it looked quite the same and everything I filled. Then, please pay now. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I had no clue that it was, well, either a scam or an agency until it reached
the
the
payment part.
It's really quite believable.
Yeah, because
until now I don't know whether scam or some agent thing.
All the feel and all the information they require is exactly like the real one.
Correct. And it's
So
scary
that's
because you're
scary.
filling in your personal
Correct.
details. I mean, thankfully, I think I didn't hit submit, but you would have saved some pages already.
Yeah, you would have saved page 1, page 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing is when you get a link, it looks like a form, but click around the website. You will have other detail, visa, like click for information first. Don't fill in the info first.
Okay. How did you know that it should not have been more than 200? Was it your own instinct or you actually asked around?
I asked the Indian fellow.
Before that, before that, you had already found out a bit.
Because,
okay.
I mean, because I'm not rich, I want to count my travel budget.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I cannot afford visa, it's a part of consideration, you see.
Okay.
So I know some people visa a few hundred ringgit. So I wanted to know how many hundred.
Yeah.
So that I could plan my things.
Alright.
So yes, if you're doing a India visa, it should be fairly below 100.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I learned, which is, okay, if you don't get a visa back then, you can't go into India lah. Alright?
Okay.
So the second tip I learned, which I actually thought it was amusing, but some people might not. Okay, so when you arrive at India, you have to go through the customs.
Yes.
Okay, and you go through the customs, they will ask you question.
Okay.
And the question can be sometimes quite ridiculous.
Okay.
And quite like, what is this?
This is at the airport, right?
Yeah. But for me, I learned that it's because Indian people are curious about us.
Oh.
It's not like they ask to make your life difficult lah. They're just
it's
curious.
Not to ask questions like whether or not they'll let you in.
That supposedly is the reason, but usually if you go there on tourism, there's no reason why they don't let you in. Alright, you don't have a black mark. They don't.
Tak ada lah. Sometimes they like want to query like,
So
actually, is she here
question,
on business but trying to get in on tourist visa or not? That one I always feel. Yeah.
So the question asked, at first I thought quite ridiculous, but after that I realized it comes from the spirit of, I'm curious, I want to learn, I want to know. The knowledge craving part, which I really admire because in Malaysia, I don't think, we don't encourage custom officer to ask you 10 questions lah.
Like what? Ada example
Are you here for tourism? Yes.
Okay.
Can you give us all the locations that you're going? Then I went, I can't pronounce them. I can't even pronounce the place. I landed at Coimbatore.
Okay.
Which I need to ask an Indian fella how to pronounce it. Otherwise, I will be Coimbatore. You know? So after that, I said, I wrote it in my e-visa, Udu something. I said, the one start with U one.
But maybe they actually want to know because it's legit info lah. That one
so it's still
visa.
legit, right?
Okay.
Then after that, the next question is like, what do you work as? How much do you earn a year? Are you here alone? Where are you staying? And then because I was there for my sister's wedding. So by the third question, right, I was like, actually I'm here for my sister's wedding lah. Don't ask me to list 10 things I'm going to do because I follow the wedding gang on the tour. Then she said, then I said, then my sister next to me. Then she said, Chinese so you married Indian boy? Then I said, yeah. Then they will ask, Indian boy, the groom name? Then I just give the first name. What's family name? I was like,
do you really need to know this?
Then I said, so the groom work as what? Then I looked at my sister, how am I supposed to know what my brother earned or whatever, right? Yeah. So that was the point I thought was a bit ridiculous. Then they asked, so how they all meet? Then I realized that was when it was curiosity. But you see, then the custom become very long. But then again, it's only 10 of us foreigner. You can see the entire airport, there's only 10 Chinese standing around,
because up to that point, it still could be like they're still trying to interrogate you until how did you meet? Actually, I don't know lah. I don't know. American immigration might ask you also. I don't know.
But after that, you can see it's a spirit of curiosity.
Okay,
it wasn't like an interrogation.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would just point out there. That one's the groom. This one's the bride. Yeah, we're all together one. We just follow the groom wherever he placed us. We first time India, that kind of thing. So I thought that's very interesting because they did the same thing when I exit the country.
Oh, okay.
I thought, hello, I going off already. You ask me a question for what? Just send me off, right?
Okay, so it's really not. It's not an interrogation.
The whole
undercover.
Then I said, I'm going off. Then I said, so where have you been? Huh? Then I said, I went some wedding, Can you show me some wedding photo? Then I was thinking,
oh, wow.
Huh?
Surely it can't be like they need proof that you were here for a wedding, right?
Yeah. Even if you need proof, you should take photo of the wedding photo and not go like, wow, quite nice, the bride, quite nice, the groom. So I find that can be quite interesting and not depending on how you look at it. But I thought it's interesting that Indian people in India is interested to learn about other people's culture.
Okay, maybe at the wrong place at the wrong time. Immigration shouldn't be doing this.
So for example, we have the groom's cousin driving us up some mountain, 2.5 hour ride. He's very shy, 20, 23 like that. he will stop once a while and he will turn behind to me at the back and say, so, does Malaysia have horse? Like, very curious question. Then I'm like, yeah. Then, do Malaysians, like very, very specific question. You can tell it's a culture learning question.
Okay.
And I find that quite interesting because a lot of them actually very curious. They will ask all the time. They will ask. So the food there is how, or what kind of things do the youngsters do? Do you see TikTok?
Okay.
So I find it refreshing somehow lah.
Yeah.
It's like conversation starter, but it felt so genuine.
And they're not too shy as well. I mean,
quite shy lah. They just turn and ask one question, then they stop lah because.
But they still gather the courage to ask. Actually, right? This actually kind of confirms my perception of, because I've been to a lot of youth conferences, forums and stuff. And I noticed in general, of course, those who come out to those conferences are those a bit more active, a bit more leadership thing, a little bit more, maybe more educated. Not that I'm very educated because I also went, right?
Yeah.
But they're a little bit more
curious,
vocal, inquisitive. They would ask, like, I don't know, maybe it's the way they're brought up, but Malaysians might not be so forthcoming with their questions.
Yeah, I think maybe Malaysians, when they ask question, is more related to the business at hand. Like I would expect him to ask me, so how many brothers, sister you have, your parents, like the more personal question because we're going for a wedding, right? And not like Singaporean people how one, Malaysian people how one. Like, it was a question that just like sparked, right?
Yeah.
So we ended up talking about badminton that he said, hey, I can bring you to the badminton court to play. And we said, wow. So we ended up playing badminton. From all the conversation, we talk about Lee Chong Wei lah, and
because India's quite big on badminton, so
yeah. So it's that was refreshing for me lah. I didn't expect it.
Okay.
But one thing about India that I really didn't expect was, their population very big
that one you don't know me.
Yeah, but I never expect because they don't have many tourists. I mean, clearly when we went to airport, we are the only 10 lah, so you can imagine that they don't receive many tourists. Especially when you're not in New Delhi, the business spot, okay?
Yeah.
So when we were there at certain tourist spot,
yeah.
Wow, you can have 1,000 local tourists there.
So local tourists means from India, but
yeah,
not from that particular place.
Correct lah. I don't know where they go.
Okay, but still from around India.
It's just impressive that the local tourism is so strong that everywhere you went, like, hello, 1,000 people, how am I supposed to take photo of the scenery? I take photo of the sea or people and not the scenery.
Yeah.
But in Malaysia, there is no such feeling. I feel that our locals don't like swarm. Everybody go Penang Hill until cannot walk like that. You know, theirs is like everybody will go to the location until I cannot stand in shadow, cannot take photo on my own. So never mind, I'll be there. And I thought, wow, the local tourism is so powerful because they have enough population to be around there.
Yeah.
So I thought quite interesting. So talking about that, right? So when I saw about curiosity, right?
Yeah.
So we went to a few spot tourism, and then I find myself very tired. So I said, okay, I just sit down here, wait lah, you go lah, you know. And then started to come, a few Indians will come. Hi, take photo. Then I went, of who? Of what? You take photo? Okay.
So like, do you need me to help you to take a photo?
Yeah.
Or?
But they said, no, you in photo. And then the family came, take photo. Then I just went, don't know what's going on. But I took at least 25 photos with strangers.
Superstar.
Yeah, until I thought I was like, whoa, superstar, they know me or something, And then when my India friend came back, I said, hey, is it normal your local culture to take photo or someone else? Then she said, no lah, we never see Chinese, never see other races here. So when you turn up, right, they just want to take photo and tell their friend, I met a Chinese.
From Malaysia or something.
And then,
but they don't even know you're from Malaysia, right?
No, because they will ask, where from, where? Then I will say Malaysia. Then they will tell their friend, according to my Indian friend, I met a Chinese from Malaysia. I met her. So they take photo to very curious. They will try to talk to you. If they can't, they take a photo to boast that they have met a tourist. I've never felt so popular in my life. Took so many photos. But yeah, that's how welcoming the people are. I also feel very safe. Because I feel like they were just minding their own business. They take photo you, but they are not very... I didn't feel like, got pickpocket or something.
You didn't feel hustled also.
Yeah. I just felt that they kind of left us alone, but they were polite enough to ask you if they need a photo. But if they don't ask you, you can see them lying up with you behind the backdrop. They're happy with that.
Cute.
Yeah, they're just happy with that. And yes, got killed.
Okay,
So it's so
in the local news
interesting.
tomorrow, we had
So
a
it's
Chinese
very interesting.
Malaysian in our little town, or was it a little town? It was a tourist
It's
area?
not a little town, it's like a mountain city that we were at. So I find that quite interesting because they don't look at you like, hey, what are you doing here? They don't look at you disgusted. Like, what?
Like they don't stare like, what is this?
They go like, who got new species here?
Okay. And they are friendly about it.
Yeah, they're
actually, that
friendly
makes a
about
difference.
it.
That makes a difference.
Correct. They even come and say, I can help you take photo. So I thought, quite refreshing.
Okay.
For me lah. Maybe you come back after the break.
Yes, and then we ask her some more questions
ask
about
me some more questions.
her India experience. This episode is brought to you by Songs and Stories. What Songs and Stories does is it gives you the true life story of the people. Everyday people with everyday lives and how they got to where they are. So if you want to find out more, check out Songs and Stories on Facebook. We are also on Twitter and YouTube. And
yeah, actually you just Google lah.
yeah. Website songsandstories.com.my. Okay, so celebrity in India. Tell us what else you discovered. What's the food like?
Discovered that food, you have the best thosai chapati because it's really fresh material with all the sauces.
Okay.
But if you're going to India, do bring some comfort food.
Oh, okay.
Because they do eat the same chapati, thosai and whatever, 3 meals a day. So if you go 10 days, by the 3rd day you're bored like me.
Oh.
It's nice. I'm not saying the food is not nice.
Okay.
But do you eat prata and thosai 3 meals a day for 10 days?
I eat actually a bit difficult
Especially the sauces.
We need our rice and our noodles.
The sauces are like dal, curry and quite strong.
Okay.
So it's like eating I don't know, chao kway teow every day, same wok hei, same chili.
Right.
You do get immune with it. So I do encourage people to bring some comfort food.
Okay. So is it like what, breakfast, roti, and then lunch?
Oh, the other interesting about
then...
India is, I don't know whether it's because we are guests. But even then we were guests for 10 days lah. So cannot be so special, right?
Okay.
So they serve, right? Breakfast is there's a prata on your plate, there's a chapati on your plate, and then there's 2 idli.
Oh.
Or the next day breakfast, it could be 1 prata, 1 big thosai, and 2 wadai. But and then all the sauces is the same. So I remember going there and say, hey, I eat this thosai 1 meal, and then I eat prata 1 meal, but it's all in 1 meal.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So the food has been interesting. You eat with your right hand, and then your left hand is for you to scoop stuff, which actually you don't need to scoop because the waiter, the moment you lift up to scoop something, whoever the host is will serve you.
Oh.
Yeah, so you eat with your right hand. But if you're uncomfortable, bring your own utensils.
Okay. So it's all use fingers to eat lah.
Yeah.
Like banana.
Very specific. Right hand is eating, left hand for scooping.
And you scoop, you got spoon lah.
For the dishes lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
And in India, just drink filtered water and mineral water. Even their own people drink filtered water.
Okay.
So don't be funny and try to like a superhero.
Okay.
Yeah. So one thing I really admire about Indian people in India is their driving skills.
Okay.
I wasn't in a big city lah. So I don't know how is it like in New Delhi or whatever, right? So I was in this smaller city. And I realized that their roads are very well done. Not like Malaysian one, got hole, patch lah, got manhole lah, patch lah. Theirs is like smooth one.
Wow.
The only thing that is a hindrance is they will put bumps. 3 bumps together, 2 bumps
But that's
together.
on purpose lah, to slow you down.
Yeah, but otherwise it's a smooth
It's not like
road.
you're broken or somebody dug it up.
Yeah, so I really, really admire it because everywhere I went, if there was a road, it was well built.
Wow.
No patches, nothing. It's just well built.
Okay.
I thought like, wow. But the drivers, you can say is super or not. For me, I call them super.
Okay.
They can share the same road. Okay, 2-lane road will have 1 animal, cow, maybe horse.
Okay.
Next to it, 1 tuk-tuk looking thing like the Philippine tuk-tuk. And then you have 1 lorry and 1 car, all going 2 different direction, 2-direction road.
Wow.
And they can manage it.
This was going up the mountain.
Everywhere. It's not just the
Wow.
mountain. So in a way, I tell you in Malaysia, you see a cow or a tuk-tuk in front of you and you like, horn, get out, what are you doing here so slow, right?
Actually, I see motorbike already, I stress.
But
I cannot change lane because they will honk at me.
But in India, there is an unspoken rule where you horn, they say, hey, I'm behind you, I'm in front of you, or I'm cutting you, you should slow down for me to cut. And they will just cut each other as long as they went.
Nice.
So they go, hello, tuk-tuk, you so slow, horn, I'm going right next to you.
Okay,
and
so
then, but on the other side, got car come, the car see you cut, the car also will slow down and let you.
Oh.
Wow, I thought very respectful
Yeah.
So they even see the people who walking or whatever, they will just horn. They don't expect the people to jump off the road for them, They will just...
It's more like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, don't panic or jump. I will cut next to you. So there is a lot of just overtaking each other, but in a very systematic, polite way. Which I don't think will ever happen in Malaysia.
Maybe we should go there and learn driving.
Yeah, but having said that, their roads are narrow, and then they also drive very close to each other. Because so narrow, they need to
Because you got to share also, right? With the
tuk-tuk and the horse.
And Okay.
So they are so used to that close gap. For us, we know we go, so near. But then after the third day,
But I think that's something that I discovered about countries with high population. We all like what? How many? Like 30 million only, right? Theirs is like plenty lah. I remember there was once I was in Africa, buffet line. You're queuing up, and then I was wondering why the lady behind me, right? Like so close to me, Like, what's your problem lah? Give me some space.
What personal space?
Yeah, I mean, she was a big woman. And then after that, suddenly I realized it's because they come from a highly populated place. So personal space is not big. It's actually there's no real personal space. Correct. Because there's no space to have personal space.
Correct.
So it's just normal. If you expect the person to have 3 inches behind you, okay, how many?
1 inch.
1 foot behind you.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen lah.
Correct.
Because it's just not like that. There's no liberty. If everybody did that, people would be spilling out of the borders.
Correct. So in India, it's the same. The people there, when they stand next to each other during the tourism spots, it's also like very close to each other.
Yeah.
For us, it was like, hello, why are you so close?
Yeah. But for them, it's normal lah.
Even driving. But I was really, really impressed with the driving skill.
Wow.
With how they have that unspoken respect. They don't get angry even in the car park at the roadside and block half the road.
They don't get upset about it.
Why you park here? No. They just, man, go next to it. And then if they have to wait because got other car coming, then they just wait for their turn and then they just overtake. No shouting, no angry, nothing.
So people not in a rush lah there.
Okay lah, they're in a rush also. They still follow this unspoken thing. So you might hear a few horns, but their horns are not the horn. They're like, horn, I'm here, horn, I'm overtaking, horn. Yeah, which was quite impressive lah. Maybe it only works in a smaller city lah. I don't know how when it's a big city lah.
Interestingly, right? Singaporeans will say the same thing about Malaysian drivers.
Really?
Really. Like, wow, you're okay when I let people like cut in, like you don't feel hassled and hustled about it.
The pasture is always greener on the other side.
I suppose lah.
But yeah, if you're going to India, I think the one thing to expect is India has a lot of nice sceneries.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't see other reasons to go lah. I would visit
so
India
their main
for the
attraction
sceneries.
is their sceneries.
Because everything else is, let's say, if you're not in the city, it's quite kampong-ish one.
Okay.
So you also have kampong, then why would you go see other people kampong lah? There's the buildings all are not very like, there's no iconic design to it.
Unless you go to Taj Mahal or those particular structures.
So it's mostly sightseeing.
Okay.
Either you go and see the sightseeing of the scenery or you go see the temple and the statue. Those are the things. But India is so big that each location is 2 hours away.
Oh.
So if you're planning to visit India and locate yourself at just one location, it's going to be unwise.
Okay.
For example, we are based at Udu Malpet. Okay? And every morning we go out to visit a place. We will take the van. 2.5 hours go there. Oh, hello, nice dam. Take photo of the dam, take 2 photos of the park, and then take 2.5 hours back to the hotel. I was thinking that's like going to Ipoh, eat and come back.
But can't you like okay, because yours wedding different lah. Could you have gone to that dam place, or sounds like I'm swearing, but no, to the dam, to the Empangan, and stayed overnight there, and then the next day in your 2 hours shift to go to another attraction.
So apparently, the locals there don't find 2.5 hour ride far. Very near only lah. And then they drive you 2.5 hours, look at a dam, and then go home.
So they wouldn't like move hotel just because of that.
Yeah. So I remember there was one time, I think day 5, we were very tired already. And then our host said, okay, today we go and see tea plantation.
Okay.
So by then, because I already know the trick, every time he said near is 2 hour ride. So I said, oh, how far today's ride? 3.5 hours. Then I went, you mean 3.5 hours, go to see tea plantation, drink tea and come back?
Oh.
Then I said, I'm going to spend 7 hours on my butt in the van. And for me, that is not a wise decision. But for the locals, there is, this is how we travel when we want to visit a space.
Okay, so it might be like, wait, how far is it to Cameron's from KL? Around there lah.
No, so this one is like maybe KL drive to Johor, eat bak kut teh and come back.
Maybe go Cameron, see the tea plantation.
But then you must imagine that 3 hours not like our highway. It's the kampung road. Turn, bam, bam, turn, bam, bam. So that was the first time I said, can I don't go?
Okay, yalah penat juga lah.
Yeah, so when you are doing your India trip, you just know that all their locations are 2 to 3 hours away.
Okay, yeah.
And then when you plan, you need to find that ideal space and be prepared to just take the drive.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go to a place, no hotel.
Faham?
Yeah, unless it's a big tourist spot, you won't have a hotel.
Okay, so it's not like you can actually stay there also and then
you still need to move on lah.
Okay, alright.
So it's quite interesting. But yeah, mostly the scenery is like they have so much land.
Okay.
So much mountain. It's so just pretty. Just pretty to look at.
Okay, so basically, if you want to go there, it's probably have the mentality of, I'm gonna chill, take it slow, take in the scenery, read my book, write my book.
Yeah.
That kind of thing lah.
Correct.
And then, like you said lah, bring some.
Don't have expectations so much on the accommodation.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you're in the bigger city, the rest of the accommodation is basic Airbnb.
Okay.
Normal bed.
So be prepared to rough it out a little bit lah. Don't expect luxury kind of thing.
But I think India don't use toilet paper.
I almost thought you said don't use toilet.
Because the first thing me and my brother brought was toilet roll. And it was useful because every single location that we had to stay,
that's a good tip,
including the host house, has no toilet paper.
Okay.
So bring toilet paper.
Okay, so bring toilet paper, bring some comfort food, Maggi mee ke,
and be prepared to be a celebrity.
Yes! Dengan itu, habis episod Lawati India. Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by 2 Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff.
Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Cerita Suito and Gina Layung.
Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105.
Remember to click like and subscribe for the brand new episode next week.